John Chambers,
Yes, sir.
we getting ready to talk about a little bit of the Plan Phoenix. And I know you been here how many years?
All my life.
All your life.
Yeah, almost 65 years.
Okay.
I got his website and everything, so it's good.
Okay.
So what would you like to see, I mean, in the city?
Oh, there's so many things. I mean, I could talk for probably a half hour, but
Hey,
I'll
I'm in the chair. You got me.
Right here.
I'm not going anywhere.
Right here.
For instance, my kids got me this for Father's Day last year. You can go to any Walgreens, CVS, Fry's grocery store and see a list of gift cards. And yet, these nice stores like, you name it, Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Famous Dave's. I'm driving to Mesa, Chandler, North Phoenix, taking money out of our community. Why? I can afford it. And I know most everybody else can eat at Denny's. Can you not afford to eat at Denny's?
With the Grand Slam, the $2.99?
That's what I'm talking about. Simple things like this. It's just incredible to me after living all my life, looking and wanting so many things. And another point, I worked for APS for over 30 years.
Yep.
And I'm putting in power to all these businesses where the mayor is located at. I've been in all of Chasefield. I've been in basements. I've been in, on poles, you name it. And I'm looking, well, I'm doing all this stuff. Where is my hospital? I could have a cardiac right now. I could have a stroke. Somebody could get hit on a bicycle or have any medical problem known to man. There's not a cancer treatment center here. I think the vice mayor knows a little bit about that. I'm not trying to pick on him or anything like that. But many people have ailments. I know I'm going to get some as time goes by. But we need hospitals, we need restaurants, we need so many businesses in our community. And again, on my little website, SouthMountainAdvocate.com, you can see some of the things that I've been hoping and praying for many years. In fact, I got a letter that I wrote to Calvin Good in 1984. Older than some of you folks in here are.
A few.
About 29 years ago. And it's sad that you got to keep, asking and begging for this kind of stuff. When I go to other parts of town and visit my friends, I see the amenities already there.
Yeah.
And then we need that. And again, we talk about President Obama. He's not making enough jobs. Well, President Obama doesn't live in Phoenix as far as I know. We need to have our leaders, our wonderful leaders, to talk to the people, the corporate chains, and say, bring it on. We will come. I know Mesa's getting the light rail. Bring it on. They will ride it. Bring it on South Central Avenue. Make that nice and beautiful. Put some nice restaurants on there. Put a chain, what do you call it? Restaurant row, like you have on 83rd Avenue and other areas where you got one restaurant after another that we all love. And then we could perhaps have someone to shuttle people up to the mountain, look over our beautiful city. Like Channel 10 had that Fox News camera shining on the city coming from beautiful South Mountain Park. But anyway, again, I could go on for a while about these wonderful things that we can use, and we would patronize and make a lot of people rich while we would have the services and jobs. And not blame it on the president. Blame it on our leaders, or give the leaders the credit for bringing them to our wonderful city and our community. Okay? So I'll stop right now. Let's keep going forward, folks.
All right, what about light rail? Central, 7th Street, or 7th Avenue?
Hey, as long as it comes, I'm not complaining.
Central,
We got to think
Central.
We got to
I think
Central.
So Central would be the main drag because it's already existing on Central, I
We got
would
to pick
say.
a route. That's the thing.
I think
So if we-
Central is the Central Long.
Yeah. This is a primary street. I remember as a kid cruising Central, and now we could cruise Central on the light rail. And the people who come from New York or Chicago or Detroit, LA, they can hop on the light rail, cruise up Central, And like some people come always saying, on the media particularly, and I don't mean to beat them up, I've heard people say down in South Phoenix. Come on now. I had to talk with Troy Hayden. He said he plays golf at the Raven. I said, Troy, if you play golf at the Raven, that's up on the hillside. That's up in South Phoenix. Don't give me no down stuff.
Good point. That's a good point.
And so, but anyway, and then when I'm at my home, I can look over and see the city a little bit. I'm slightly on a hill. But the thing is, bring us up where we belong. Okay?
No.
You mess with
Go
me?
on the hill, huh? Right.
I used to be. I've come down a little bit, but I've been to the mountaintop.
That's it. That's it.
And I've seen it all.
So where do you live at?
Actually, I'm between Baseline and Southern off of 27th Avenue. And just talking about 27th Avenue, like I got on my shirt from way back 2006, a bridge over 27th Avenue would be so good. And let me tell you something funny, Mr. Mayor, is that I wrote a couple folks, Chris Cross, something like that, with the city. Nice guy. And we talked about the lights over at the left turn arrow at 19th Avenue and Baseline. There's not one. And yet you got Lowe's shopping mall, you got Fresh and Easy grocery store, CVS, and a lot of good new Goodwill. And there's not a left turn arrow to go on a busy street like Baseline. Very dangerous. They said they don't have the funding for it.
Good point.
I said, how can you not have funding, but yet there's a wreck? Half of these police officers will be over there cleaning up the mess, tow trucks, paramedics, and all that. That costs a lot of money. Put a left turn arrow, I think that would be a good thing.
27th and Baseline.
Actually, they're in 19th Avenue and Baseline.
19th Baseline.
In fact, you want to see something even funnier? This street right here, 7th Avenue and Southern, there's no left turn arrows. And I wrote, again, the city, I said, the police station right here, I know they can put on their emergency sirens and lights and all that stuff. Why not have an arrow in case there's a semi-emergency? Something that's not where it's life and death, but something important where they can just get in line and make the left turn like anybody would want to. Why waste fuel? Fuel is knocking $4 a gallon. Why are we sitting there? Stuff like that.
That's a good point.
You know, but again, I can tell you some stories. I know these people are probably getting bored with your...
No, this is your time.
Okay.
You've been talking to me about it for a long time. You only might get one shot at it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, this is a wonderful opportunity. Okay, 35th Avenue. I'm coming southbound, going across the Salt River. There's a fatal accident
You gotta
there.
get this guy in the village planning.
Hey, we've already committed it. Come on.
Hey, I will be glad.
Plug you in.
I will be glad to help out. You know, I'm not sharp like you and Mr. Robinson and all of you guys are. I'm very highly educated, very intelligent, but I'm experienced. I've seen a little bit in my 64.9 years.
Number 5. Okay.
But anyway, 19th Avenue.
You got a PhD in real life. Life experience.
Well, I was about to mention 35th Avenue. I was going southbound one day, and they had an accident at Broadway. They closed off the Salt River. So what did I have to do? Obviously, go back north. I called the non-emergency police number and said, you need to put some barricades or get a police officer here to tell folks they need to go all the way to 19th or 51st.
Got it.
43rd Avenue does not have a bridge over the Salt River. 27th. So why do you always make me waste my time, fuel, and if some other poor soul gets sick, say if a young lady was about to have twins, and she's needing an emergency vehicle to get through. And 35th Avenue's broke down or closed off, or 19th Avenue's closed down. You got to go miles around. We're not in the country. I'm in the city. I'm paying my taxes. I'm paying HOA fees for over a decade in my home. Why in the world have we got this primitive stuff still going on? But it's a lot of stuff like that. Again, look on the website, southboundadvocate.com, and you will see me and my daughter put a pretty good little package together. And again, I'm just a regular working person. Very humble. You know, I love my city. I love life. And I just want to see our part of town get better.
And he's 65.
And I'll be 65 on the 16th of May. And I want a cake and I want a lot of presents.
Good to see you. All right.
Ruben Henderson, I live at 27th Avenue and Baseline. Matter of fact, right across from Bernard Black Elementary School, in that community right there.
Of course,
Just a quick question. A lot of people in my community are ready to give up their cars. Okay, but the light rail is going to be at 7th or Central, somewhere in there.
You're studying 7th Avenue, 7th Street, and Central.
Somewhere in there.
That's the other study,
And I'm wondering, are there going to be any circulator buses? I'm ready to give up my car.
Okay.
Okay. If you can get me from there,
Congratulations.
you got me to come downtown.
That's awesome,
Right. I don't want to park downtown. I don't want to do all that stuff. Is there any potential there for us?
Yes, here's the answer on that. So, Phoenix right now has a dedicated revenue source. Remember Transit 2000? That ends in 2020. You'll see during my time as mayor, we're going to be proposing a extension of the light rail, extension of the Transit 2000. And included in that will be funding for light rail to the south side. And we have to go through the legal studies in order to get it done, but that's how we're going to fund that thing. In addition to that, you know, all that money can't just go to light rail. It's got to go to other alternative transit, including what you just described. The neighborhood circulators, hugely popular when they get built. So these are like, they look like vans. They're not even, they don't look like buses. And they drive through the neighborhoods. They even go off the arterial streets. They drive through the neighborhoods, pick people up, take them to the light rail station. They take them probably to Ed Pastor Transit Center there, and then people get on the light rail. So yeah, we got to get that funded, and we got to get people to support it. Phoenix is unafraid to do that. One of the things that I'll be pushing for is to ask the other cities in the valley that don't have dedicated funding sources for transit to get off the dime and do it. Tempe has one, Glendale has one, but none of the other cities in the valley have one. So if we're going to have a truly, you know, region-wide system, it can't just be a Phoenix system, it's got to be region-wide. If we want people from Mesa to get downtown as quick as possible, we want people from Avondale to be able to come downtown as quick as possible. And occasionally we want people from Phoenix to go there, you know. Don't spend any money there, spend it in Phoenix, but you know. But anyway, you get the point, is that it's got to be a true regional system. And yeah, so Phoenix is really focused in on public transit, all forms of it, light rail, buses, neighborhood circulators, bus rapid transit, which are those buses that you pick up out on the outskirts of town, no stops, your next stop is downtown. So it's quick buses. People love those too, those are hugely popular. And then bikeability and walkability, that's another big part of it. You got to live in a neighborhood where you have access to bikes. So you're going to see, we're going to do a bike share program in Phoenix, and it's going to be right along the light rail system. So you get on the light rail, get off, you can get on a bike and, you know, ride 2 miles, which is not that long of a bike ride, ride it back and get on the light rail. It really extends the reach of the light rail system. That's kind of the concept behind it. So yeah, so our goal is to be able to make people like you, you know, you're still a young man, but we want you to, quote, age in place. That's the concept, is that people don't have to go to Sun City if they want to, you know, have a vibrant lifestyle in their golden years. You should be able to have it wherever you're at and have the option.
All right, my name is Walter Hassel Jr.
All right.
And I'm a convicted felon.
All right.
Okay. Received my felonies in 2010 for the same exact crime. And it's very difficult for a person like myself to get employment. I'm in a right-to-work state. People have the right to choose.
Yep.
And I do have a job right now in an occupation, but I'm sure that there's a lot of felons out there that would be willing to pay higher city taxes in order to work.
Yep.
So I wanted to see what your,
All right, good.
maybe a livelihood clause for felons or whatever have you.
Okay, so first off, congratulations on getting a job and moving on with life. We all got to move on with our lives.
Paid all my restitutions.
Congratulations. And look, you know that we as a society suffer from many stereotypes, and stereotypes bring us all down. And one of the stereotypes we suffer from is that someone who's been convicted of a crime should never be able to get employment, or should never ever be able to live a good lifestyle the rest of their lives. As you know, many folks that are coming out of the system have paid their debt to society, and whatever happened, and they're ready to move on and would be actually desperate to get in with a good job and be a good employee. So, and some aren't ready. I mean, let's be honest. There are some that want to go back to the old life, And so I'm working with the county attorney, believe it or not. County attorney and I are putting together a program with some of the nonprofits that work with folks coming out of the system to help them reintegrate easier into our system. You know that when someone leaves the system, that first 30 days is so important, that they have a positive experience coming out, show that the community supports them and wants to help them. If they have the opposite feeling, guess what? They might go right back to the old life that got them in trouble in the first place. So we're working with some of the nonprofits. I can't think, My Brother's Keeper and a few other ones that work on the social side of things. Our job is to help bring the employers to the table. To say, hey, take a chance on some of these guys. Give them a chance.
Exactly. Even if there was an opportunity to get expunged versus to getting it assessed.
Yeah.
After 10 years or after 7 years, would be a great opportunity for those who want to make a change.
Yeah.
Because if you show a decade, I was 23 years old, now I'm 33. and can't wipe it off my record.
Can't wipe it off. Good point. That's a real good point. The other thing is housing. You know, I mean, if you're able to find housing, maybe in an environment away from the old life, and some of your old friends are still in the old life, you know, to be able to chance to
Change the
to get
people
away.
around.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, we're doing. Ruben's taking the lead on it. I announced a couple weeks ago. We're doing the biggest gun buyback in the state's history. And you know, it's controversial in some ways, but one of the great things about a gun buyback is it allows, you know, a minister who knows that young guy in the church maybe heading in the wrong direction, and be able to say to him, hey, you know, hand that gun over. You know, move, get away from that life and move on to your next life. You know, the future. And you know, the handing that gun over can be a symbolic way of sort of saying, I'm kind of done with that life. I'm going to move on to.
Any day now is what I kept telling myself on the last mile on the road